or whatever time it is in your time zone. Oh crap, it's the afternoon. I actually got some sleep after taking a sleeping pill. I usually don't take them, but I didn't get much sleep, so I slept later. Anyways, this is my birthday extravaganza. I got a bunch of stuff. Um, I got a bunch of gift cards and money and shit. And that always burns a hole in my wallet, especially since I didn't have money. And although I could have actually used a lot of it for rent and important adult stuff, um, no one was around and I didn't get chastised for it, which is amazing. And like, it's your birthday. I mean, you're like 24 now, so just whatever, it's fine. There's other ways to get money right now. So I was like, all right. So we'll go with the games first, and then movies. And a lot of these games I actually don't have the system for because I want to get one probably before summer, which I have mentioned to my friend. But we'll go with the system that I do have first, and that's the PlayStation 3. And I got several games. Let's see, I think I spent, let's see, 10, let's see, this one was 6, this one was like 10, this one was 10. So I spent like 25 bucks. And I went to GameStop, and I don't have a card for them anymore because I don't like going to GameSlave. Their employees get treated poorly, get minimum wage. I mean, I work slash worked in the middle right now at a minimum wage job, but at least it looked like I was going to get past that point, and I get way better benefits than any other minimum wage job, so it wasn't a huge detriment. But I call both places slave, game slave, slave way. But yeah, let's see. First game that we got here, and we'll do it in reverse alphabetical order, is Enslaved: Odyssey of the West. I have played this. I forget if it was on PS3 or 360 or both. But I really love this game. I didn't have it when I didn't have a PS3 and was at 2012 or 2013. It's like a long time because my original FAT had a weird issue where it wouldn't upgrade my hard drive. So I just sold the damn thing. Um, yeah. Um, Unfortunately, they had my video content for a while, so I had to get that deactivated and reactivated by Sony, which isn't too bad of a process. But yeah, so I got this back. I still haven't played it. I started one of the other games here, but I love this game. It's so easy and fun. Well, it's challenging too, but it's this long journey, and for a platformer, a 3D platformer, to be long these days is amazing. Um, yeah, I never beat it. I got pretty far though, I think. And by Ninja Theory and Namco, I love Ninja Theory. I think they made the new DMC game, and that was pretty good to me. But yeah, next is Deus Ex. Um, I was originally gonna get it's on 360 and the director's cut, but I saw this for like I think it was like $10, and they were like getting rid of all their last gen games at GameStop. I keep confusing it with GameSpot, even though they're dying. GameStop has just been dying for like 5 years, and they keep changing their policies, trying to survive. Hey, we got to do this because that's what's in now. Well, yeah, and that's why you're failing because they can do it and you can't. But yeah, and I'm excited to play this. I heard a lot of great things. Um, and I probably will get the director's cut. Although, according to Wikipedia, the PS3 version has the worst ratings. And the 360 and Wii U versions have a lot better ratings. So maybe when I get a Wii U, if ever, that'll probably either be before or after I get a 360. I'll probably get it on one of those. I'm thinking probably the Wii U, just because Wii U needs more games. But yeah. And the last one, which I started this, and holy crap, the in-game visuals are crap. Like, this came out in, like, what, 2010? The same year God of War 3 came out. Now, it's first party, God of War 3, but even by, like, action games like hell, Enslaved. This does not compare in game. Now the actual cutscenes, of course, they look great, but and the in-between graphics are kind of mixed too, but doesn't take away from the game overall. And that is Dante's fucking Inferno, made by Visceral Games. They made Dead Space, and they sadly made the travesty that is known as Battlefield Hardline, which I was actually optimistic about. And I've been seeing reviews, and yeah, it wasn't that good. It's a bit saddening because I'm like, alright, cops and robbers game, but then they had the Battlefield logo, and I'm like, and then I saw a gameplay like a week or two ago, and I'm like, it's the Battlefield sound effects. I know it's Battlefield Hardline, but couldn't you like just make it more like a first-person shooter or third-person shooter that was cop-oriented, that didn't have all the military weapon sound, military weapon guns and shit. Not a lot of police are going to have that. Mind you, it's supposed to be like bad cop scenario, but nonetheless, it was weird. Next is the game system I do not have, and that is the 360. Let's see. We'll do it in reverse alphabetical order again. First one, because this was one of the few RPGs that, actually, I think I only got 2 of the 360 exclusive RPGs when I had a 360. But I didn't get this one, and that is Lost Odyssey. I heard this was one of the best of the exclusive 360 RPGs. Which one of these actually, I think, got ported to PC according to Wikipedia. But yeah, I wanted to get this, and it was like, I think like $8. So I'm like, 4 discs, $8. That'd be awesome. And I honestly think, yeah, Field Plus and Mistwalker should port this to the Xbox One, because it was published by Microsoft Game Studios. But if they could get around Microsoft, I'd like to see it also ported to the PS4 as well, because I don't know if I'm going to be getting both. More than likely, I'll be getting just PS4. So, yeah. But you know, just a port to the freaking Xbox One, I'd still be happy for fans. I mean, 4 discs is a lot, and no one really likes switching discs. But yeah, that was cool. Can't wait to play that whenever I get a 360 again. Next is another one, and Wiki says this was ported to PC. I haven't looked up the PC version of this, and it's probably better if that's the case. But yeah, Infinite Unknown Discovery. I played this for like 20 minutes on the 360. The controls are weird circle combat, but I'm willing to give it another shot. And yeah, I can always use more from my collection and more to play and so on. And my 360 collection is still rather small. There's only one other game besides these that I had. I sold the other one that I had. And lastly is the end of the game series. And I already saw the cutscenes for this because people told me, oh, it's so sad. And I didn't have a 360. And I had a 360 and I started 1 and 2. And I couldn't get into it. And then I sold my 360 in the games and everything. Which I now know was a mistake, because I could have just held out and just waited for more new games and just stopped being a little bitch. Because every time I sell my consoles, I regret it. So, yeah, but this game is Gears of War 3. I saw all the cutscenes for this. I didn't give 2 shits about the story. I didn't give 2 fucks that one of the main characters died. I didn't. I don't care about the characters in Gears of War. If you do, that's fine. Congrats to you. I don't care. But yeah, those are my games that I got for my birthday. I made some good choices. You know, I have to go to GameStop willingly. I usually will never go into one because they rip me off all the time. And the prices they had were okay, not great. Lost Odyssey, I think I got about the same price as it would be on Amazon. I checked that. I'm like, okay, I'll get it for $2 less than with shipping and handling. That's not bad. Gears of War 3 is cheap everywhere, so I'm like, all right, I can deal with that. I would have liked to get Dante and damn it. I would have liked to get Dante's Inferno a little bit cheaper, but that's fine. So yeah, next is movies, and I will explain why one of them is on a different format. Well, there's several different formats here, but first we'll go with the Blu-ray. The only Blu-ray I got. There's another one inside it, and I gave my brother the other cover, so whatever. And that is How to Train Your Dragon 1. I already have the second one, but I want to have the whole set. And there is supposed to be a third one. I'm hoping that's true, because the second one was just beastly. Yes, the ending could have been changed. There could have been many ways that the father didn't. Yeah, you should watch both of these movies. But first one just had a place in my heart, and I just had to get it on Blu-ray. And I gave my brother the DVD, and I have another movie in here, and I gave him. I think I already gave him a DVD. I'm not entirely sure on that. But yeah, I love these movies. Yeah, that's my only Blu-ray. Next is a couple DVDs, and one's a season of a show, a 90s show. And people on Facebook got confused. They were like, "You should be watching the show on TV." I'm like, that's the new one. This was the one from the 90s that no one knows about, and it's cheesy, and the video conversion is shit. But we'll talk about that. So first, I found this just yesterday. I went to my favorite thrift store. I was gonna buy an original Xbox, but I'd already used my money for shoes. Fuck, I forgot my shoes. I was gonna show those too, but oh well. You probably don't care about shoes. This is all media anyway. But yeah, I went to the thrift store and I found this. This is one of two things I found. Was the 2-disc Ultimate Groove edition of Ultimate Groove 2-disc Collector's Edition of The Emperor's New Groove. And I actually swapped out the case, but this has 3 discs and there's only 2 discs in it. But yeah, I like that movie quite a bit. I know some people hated it or thought it wasn't very funny, and I don't think it's hilarious. When I was a kid, I thought it was much funnier and more interesting. I watched it again on Netflix not too long ago, and it was still entertaining. All the clips weren't as funny now that I'm older, but it was still good, and I say it's probably one of the better works of David Spade, because he doesn't do a lot of good things. Frankly, that's just my opinion. I haven't seen Black Sheep or the other movie that he's with. I think it's Chris Farley. But I heard he was better with Chris Farley, and he's been dead a long time. So take that with a grain of salt. That's just me. I can't enjoy a lot of his movies. Next is a complete series of a show from the 90s. I saw this, and sadly, I got both this and How to Train Your Dragon at Walmart. I know it's evil, and I don't like supporting evil companies that only have minimum wage and no benefits of almost any kind. And when they did, they canceled them on Thanksgiving. And it's ridiculous. But yeah, I supported the devil. I'm sorry. And I got the complete series of Flash from the 90s with, was it John Wesley Shipp? Yeah, John Wesley Shipp. There's good and there's bad. 6 discs, and apparently the first episode is an hour and a half long. And it's named super generic. What is it, like promo or whatever? It's named something. Or first episode. It's really stupid name for it. And other episodes are like 44 minutes long. At least the second episode was. I need to finish episode 3 on the first disc. But yeah, it's 6 frickin' discs. Frickin' hey, you're not calling me, damn it, friend. Son of a bitch, really? But yeah, the problem that I noticed with this is the video conversion. It is terrible. I mean, it's textures are fine, but I see a lot of VHS pop-in. It's the same thing I saw on the RoboCop Blu-ray. It's converted from a tape, and it's horrible quality. And it's like they couldn't bother to hire a person that knew how to do decent video conversion. And there are certain companies that can do that you can outsource to do that, and it doesn't cost a lot. So there's not really much of an excuse for this type of thing. And yeah, I know people are going to point out this is by Warner Brothers, and Warner Brothers is known lately for being incredibly cheap. And this is sadly part of it. This was made in 2010, and for 2010, there should not be a DVD with this bad conversion. I'm sorry, but and also I can't seem to turn off the subtitles, which it says I can in the menus, and it doesn't work. Maybe it was the TV I was using. It was an HD TV on grandparents, and I even turned off the subtitles via my PlayStation. Still saw them, and it still said provided by WB. This is WB. Thanks for watching. We're WB. You better subscribe to us. I'm like, why do that? I can't turn off the subtitles, and you're promoting yourself while they're running. It was really distracting, but other than that, it's still a good collection. You probably won't be able to find the original Flash series anywhere else anyways, but, you know, those were just a few issues I had. Yeah, next is I got original VHS tapes. And I got it for this series because a certain individual, a director, who has since sold all of the rights to all of his properties to Disney, so that should give you a hint, has continually edited and raped these videos. So the original content, the original actors, and everything else has been edited. So there's horrible CGI put in there because he had to have it in there. It had to be new. That's what he wanted in the original movie, but he couldn't because the effects weren't out yet. And I get that to an extent, but like, why couldn't you just release the originals after the special editions? They never did that. So if you want the originals, you have to go with VHS like I did. I've heard rumors that Disney is going to release these in the original format with updated visuals. I've heard there's been a problem with some audio and some certain effects, and they're trying to fix that. But that was over a year ago, almost a year ago, that info was leaked out. And that is the Star Wars original trilogy. This is 95 with THX audio remastered, but luckily, according to all of my Google searches, it was 97. The gold box, which actually was right next to this one at the thrift store, was the one where it was edited, and that's the one I grew up with. I think it had the least effects added to it. I think it was mostly particle effects and such were added to the gold one. And I believe they said in that there was a blue hue on these tapes, which are actually can be shown on this. That's funny. Their thing was there was a blue hue, and we undid all that shit. They do that in the promotional video before the videos actually start. But I'd rather not have any edits yet in my Star Wars. At least the original trilogy, as everyone's calling it now, or as we now call it 4, 5, and 6. And even though people like I love the dude, he's funny as hell. Gods of Mortal Kombat. Even though he may not like that there's a million Star Wars games and a 7th movie coming out, I like a lot of the Star Wars games, even if they weren't that great. And frankly, I always wanted a sequel to Return of the Jedi. Or, I put it in the wrong order. Sorry. The Empire Strikes Back. No, Return of the Jedi. Damn it, I put the tapes in wrong. I'm so out of it. Fuck. Yeah, there we go. Alright, sorry. So, Star Wars, Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi. Yeah, I always wanted a sequel to Return of the Jedi. Just because it was like, it's the end of an era. It really was. It was like, I was too young, but I saw it, I'm like, oh man, that would be so cool if they made one that takes place after, and all the heroes are older, and there was like a new set of heroes to take on the mantle. And they're finally doing it. It just sucks because like a lot of the actors haven't aged that well. Mark Hamill aged decently. He's still gonna portray the trickster. It's this guy in the corner here. You probably can't see that very well. Maybe. He's portraying the trickster again. over 20 years after the fact for the new Flash series, supposedly, and that'll be freaking sweet. But other than him, what's his name? Harrison Ford and Carrie Fisher have not aged very well. Harrison Ford kind of he just looks a lot older in some scenes in some areas that you see him at. Um, Maybe it's just the way he's dressed. Maybe I don't know. I don't know, but sometimes he looks really a lot older than he is sometimes. And Carrie Fisher, like I saw her a few years ago, she got ripped apart in on Comedy Central, and she looked like shit. They made a million drug references, like I guess she was addicted to opiates or something. Of course, she also had the horrible Seth Green, also there, and he's ruined Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, a cartoon for me, sadly. Now, I don't know why. I can't. I don't like the dude. I don't like him. I don't like Yuri Lowenthal, who does anime voice acting. And you know, I don't like. There's several people I genuinely don't like in media, but yeah, it's kind of sad that Carrie Fisher looks better now, so it'll be kind of interesting to see her in the new film. But yeah, I'm sort of a purist about these movies. I don't want to see bullcrap CGI just mashed into the original movies. It doesn't look cohesive at all. So I decided to get these. And luckily I found it, this was $8, so I'm like, really? Like for all three, I mean, I usually care about higher definition, but I was like, alright, I can't pass out on unedited versions. And if they ever do release unedited versions from Disney and Star Wars, I will be happy as shit, and I will gladly dump the probably $40 to $60 they're going to make me pay for it. I will. I will probably get the Blu-ray editions of the Star Wars prequel trilogy, and I actually like them. I think they're underrated, but I don't think the CGI from them should be forced onto the original series. It just doesn't work for me, and there obviously are people who still, you know, agree with me on that. But yeah, tell me what you think of my birthday collection. I thought it was a lot, and I couldn't resist. And I'm like, I probably spent about a good $70 on all this. Um, Actually, probably 80. But it's worth it to me. I mean, this was a tenth of it. Just this, and actually it's probably more than that. I don't know. But I was really happy, and to have a great collection, I'm gonna watch most of these anyway, and play most of these. Again, the 360 games I'll have to wait, sadly, but I know I'll play them, and I'm gonna keep them this time and not sell them. So, anything you can suggest for movies and games, please comment in the section below, and have a good day.